Welcome to Presenter Search on 3 Afternoon Express Takeover Masterclass. My name is Zola Msizi and...
My name is Jooste, and our guest today is Mr. Marc Lottering. Welcome to the couch today, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Wow.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming, you and your entourage, obviously.
The entourage says thank you.
Yes, it's the welcoming. Well, Marc, I wanted to shy away from questions you could possibly Google and, you know, things that you've been asked plenty of times on every show. I want to know, as somebody who's so busy each and every day, how do you keep the communication with your family, your loved ones on a proper basis, even though you don't have time to sit down and interact with them one-on-one? Because I would think that's a problem for you at some point.
It's very easy with family. You do the EFTs regularly because that's all that they really want.
Yeah.
And then the love is there and the love is real. So
yeah.
I manage really well. Everybody's happy.
Oh, well.
It's fantastic.
I
think that's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
I want to move over to something a little bit more superficial, if that's all right.
Okay.
Let's get more superficial than that.
I have to ask you about your hair, because this is something that is a signature or a trademark of yours.
Yes,
How is it that you keep this hair going, looking so fabulous throughout your seasons, your shows, for your shoots? What do you do?
He's married.
Not a lot. You know, when I started out, it was quite a thing because when I started doing my comedy, I spoke about coming from the Cape Flats. Yeah. And growing up on the Cape Flats, at that time, hair was a big issue. If you had great hair, and you spoke English first language, and you were fair, then you kind of were going to go far in the world. That was the belief. And then I popped out with this hair, and we did speak English, and you know, as you can see, the looks God was very happy when he made me. But these were issues that were, you know, it was heavy in the areas in which I grew up. Yes. So I walked onto stage, and because that was on my mind and it's such a large part of my life, I spoke about that a lot. And I grew my hair when I started working, and the afro was there, so it went really well with the comedy and with the material at that time. And then it became a trademark because I decided not to cut my hair. And I think that it was a cool move. Particularly being a stand-up comedian. So it essentially just became part of who I am. So that was one of the good decisions I made in my life.
It's fabulous. I love it.
Speaking of coming from Cape Flats, you had a show that you were starring in called Loitering in Jooste.
Yes.
Now, I for one really relate to it because I'm somebody who moved from Port Elizabeth to Cape Town, and as much as you made it seem funny, it probably was a very traumatizing experience at first because you don't know anyone there, you don't know who to talk to, you're leaving your family behind. So how exactly was that experience for you?
Well, I think particularly after shooting the show was more traumatizing because about 5 people watched it, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So you've just made my day. I think for anyone who's not from Joburg, I think every South African who's not from Jooste should spend time there. It's a very important city in South Africa to exist in. It just has its own tempo. It has its own path, and it's something that has to be experienced. So, you know, so coming from outside, and as you're saying, coming from Port Elizabeth to Cape Town, and me going from Cape Town and working so often in Joburg, initially, certainly, it's always a fascinating experience. And it's great, and it's important just to realize that we all, you know, you're not the only person in the world. You shouldn't be the only one who matters in your own world. Wow. It opens your mind up to see that there are so many South Africans who think very differently to the way you might think. Absolutely. And that is very important for us to come to that realization and to realize, you know, we can make stuff work, even though people don't necessarily have the same way of thinking. And that's why I think it is so important to work in other cities.
Yes, I sure am. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us today. It's been an absolute honor meeting you and chatting with you today.
Definitely.
Thank you.
We can't wait to be with you guys again really, really soon. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
That was
Crazy. I feel like I'm being auditioned. Thanks, guys.